Have you ever wondered what the universe is made of? Hey, it's Dan. This is the Fun Kids Science Midweekly, our tour of the wonders of the universe. Now, every Wednesday, I'm here, we do a lot. I answer your science questions to start off with. Today, we're looking at exactly what makes up everything around you, and whether or not you can hypnotise someone.
Hello, I'm Marianne and I'm 13, and I was just wondering what string theory is. Thank you.
What is string theory? Well, string theory is very hard for me to try and explain in like a 10-ish minute podcast. Very hard for me to try and explain in 10 years worth of going to school, I would say. I will do my best. String theory is an idea. It's a theory about the way the universe works. Now, this is generally known, right? In atoms, which make everything, you've got tiny little particles called protons and neutrons. That's what make the atoms. It makes them different from each other, how many of each there are. Inside those, you've got even smaller ones called quarks. Now, until 1969, people thought that quarks were the smallest possible thing that could exist. But someone called Gabriele Veneziano suggested that quarks are made up of something even smaller, tiny strings. When these strings wiggle or vibrate, they gain traits, they gain qualities like mass. Think of this like notes being played on a guitar. The guitar string vibrates and a specific note comes out depending on how long or short the string is. That's how these experts who think about string theory say the universe works. That everything's made of tiny little strings and the amount they wiggle kind of says what they do. People think that string theory could link together the science of the very big with the very small. So the planets and stars and how that connects to something tiny like atoms and quarks. It could be the next step in creating an equation that explains all of science, the theory of everything. I hope I've made that kind of clear for you. Basically, string theory says that everything's made up of tiny little strings. There's almost like energy. The way it vibrates says what it does. That's the theory. That's the idea. Thank you very much for the question, Mariana. Let's get on another one. This is from William.
I am William. I live in Ohio. My question is, can you really hypnotize someone? Bye.
Can you really hypnotise someone? Hypnosis is like a trance. It's like a mental state. It's not exactly like you might have seen in films. When hypnotised, you have a high level of focus and concentration on your inner thoughts. It's not like you see in films with a pocket watch on a chain that swings back and forth, and you can do whatever they want. That's not really what happens. It just helps you keep relaxed and calm, and you block out distractions, and you can focus completely on one thing, perhaps a certain memory or a feeling. And you can become hypnotised by trained people and professionals. They sometimes do it by repeating the same phrase over and over and over again, making the same mental pictures to help you feel calm and relaxed so you can just concentrate on the thing that you're trying to do. Hypnosis is not like sleep. You're not unconscious. You're just in a state where you're more open to suggestions. And that's why sometimes you see magic shows, people will get hypnotised and they'll kind of dance like a chicken. That's what's going on. It's because you've accessed a part of your brain that makes you more ready to say, yeah, okay, why not? Thank you for the question, William. Let's get this one on. This is from Emily, who is 10. Emily wants to know, what is in our blood? Well, blood is made of cells and plasma. Plasma is a yellow fluid. It's got different nutrients in there, proteins and things like that keep you alive. Different types of blood cells have different jobs. Your red blood cells in there, they carry the oxygen. The different parts of your body quite desperately need this to keep muscles moving and your brain working. None of that can work without oxygen, so red blood cells are very important. White blood cells, they're the fighters, they're the battlers. They're part of your immune system that fight bacteria. You've also got something called platelets in there. They are tiny cells that are oval-shaped and they help clog up your blood when you're bleeding. So everything in there, the red with the oxygen, the white, the fighters, the platelets which clog it up, that's what's in your blood, and that's why every single ounce of it is very, very important. Thank you so much for the question, Emily. Let's get one more on. This is from Gemma, who wants to know, how do voice boxes make a sound? Well, Gemma, a voice box is a bit like a guitar string. You ever seen that? You know, you pluck it, it wobbles, it vibrates. We were talking about this with string theory earlier in the show. You pluck the guitar string, it wobbles, it vibrates, it makes a noise. Your voice box is made of cartilage, small bands of tissues clumped together. You can make them longer or shorter. When you push air through it, it makes the bands vibrate. And you get a sound because it vibrates, it moves the air all around it. And depending on what you do with that cartilage shows what type of sound you're making. So if you tighten it, if you stretch that cartilage in your voice box, you make a higher sound. If you make it kind of shorter and slacker, you make a deeper sound like that. It's all to do with how that cartilage moves the air around it. Gemma, thank you so much for the question. Thank you for your questions. I love listening to them. If you ever have one, something sciencey that you just want figured out, let me sort it for you. I'll do the digging. funkidslive.com is the place to ask it, all right? Now, the team at Aquanauts Central are here. In this final episode, we're finding out what we can do to protect the supply of water in the future.
Aquanauts, engineering our water future. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. That's a famous line from The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. It illustrates the irony and anguish that even though 70% of the earth is water, only 3% is fresh water, and quite often it's not clean or safe enough to drink. So it's up to all of us to make the most of the water we have to keep our taps running. Hi, I'm Arno. I'm with the Aquanauts. We're wild about water and how to make sure there's enough for everyone who needs it, now and in years to come.
Activate Aquanauts.
It's easy to get overwhelmed when faced with major challenges. So let's get some practical tips from our experts. Over to you, Aquanauts.
We all love a soak in water, but did you know that each bath can use up to 130 litres of water, whilst a 5-minute shower uses around 60 litres?
Whoa, that's quite a lot. Think of all the ways we could reuse that water, like watering the garden or washing the car.
Shorter showers are a great way to conserve water. Shaving 2 minutes off can save around 20 litres. That's like a whole aquarium full of water.
If you love a power shower, you might not realise how thirsty they are. Just 7 minutes in a power shower is pretty much the same as running a bath. You can swap out power or even regular shower heads for low flow ones. They use half as much water but still keep up the pressure. It's like getting more splash for your cash.
And how about laundry? Every wash uses around 150 litres. So cutting down on the number of loads or using a smart washing machine saves water and money. Plus, less laundry means more time for fun stuff.
Don't forget those sneaky leaks. A leaky loo cistern can get through as much water as a whole extra person in the house. That's like flushing your money down the toilet, literally.
And remember to turn off the tap when brushing your teeth. A running tap can use 9 litres a minute. It's really easy peasy. Turn it off and keep those litres from leaping away.
When you're preparing food, always wash your fruits and veggies in a bowl rather than under running water. Then use that water to quench your plant's thirst.
Or even better, collect rainwater in a water butt. Plants love fresh rainwater, and you save loads on your water bill. It's a win-win.
And here's a green-fingered tip. Water your plants early in the morning or late in the afternoon, and not when the sun's blazing. That way, you minimise evaporation and your plants get the most out of every drop.
Now, none of us like it when the toilet gets blocked, so always remember the toilet is for the 3 Ps only: pee, poo and paper.
Yeah, no flushing wipes, nappies or leftovers down the loo. They'll only block pipes and cause some majorly nasty problems. Yuck.
Back in the kitchen, what about all of those leftover fats and oils from cooking?
Easy. Never pour them down the drain. They can harden and clog up pipes, and you don't want your very own fatberg. Bin them.
And don't forget medicines, chemicals and paints. They need special disposal. Take them to your local pharmacy or recycling centre.
So, what's the takeaway, team?
Shorter
showers, fix any leaks, check for leaky loos, turn off the tap, and don't flush trash.
Get creative around the home and collect rainwater for your plants.
And sweep. Don't hose down your driveway.
Saving water is easy when we all do our part. So, let's make every drop count and keep splashing out on good habits. You can also think about a career in water tech in the future.
Water workers!
And today's water worker is...
Water-saving engineers use science and engineering to promote sustainable water conservation practices. They may design erosion control structures and manage watershed ecosystems.
Stick with us, and we're going to be helping you understand the challenges ahead. Discover some of the cool engineering and careers that are solving problems today. And find out how we can all make a difference. With more tips so you can become an Aquanaut too.
If you want to find out more about how we use water, get to funkidslive.com and search for Aquanauts. Now, this is a Fun Kids Science Midweekly episode. We've got a bigger, more bursting one for you on Saturday. This week, we learn all about the lives of ducks and what makes them float.
The main reason is it's actually due to their feathers, and they have a little gland just at the top of their tail. They call it a preen gland, and it secretes like an oil. So if you see a duck preening itself, you'll see him sometimes pop his head back, or her pop their head back, and they rub that oil from the gland on the top of their bill, and they spread that around their feathers, and that gives them a completely waterproof coating. And that is essentially how they stay up.
Plus, in Battle of the Sciences, we'll have a look at the interesting lives of what our pets really get up to.
Cats very much view their people, I think, as servants, much more so than dogs. But we assume this, and it would be really nice to actually, understand what animals really think. I have dogs, and I sometimes see my dogs looking at me thinking, oh, what is she doing now?
It's all on the way in a brand new Fun Kids Science Weekly coming this weekend. I'll see you then.